Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome to Massenomics, the world's strongest podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Massenomics. Make sure you go visit Massenomics.com. There you'll find the rest of our powerful content. While you're there, check out our store and buy yourself some of that sweet Massenomics gear.
Trash we talked off of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of the Massenomics podcast, which we don't talk any trash off the air. I'm Tyler. Next to me is Tommy.
What's up?
And over the way is Tanner.
Jello, everyone.
We said co-hosted last week.
Yeah, co-host.
You guys have been demoted.
What were we this time?
You're just over there.
Oh, yeah.
Over yonder.
Oh, yeah, over there yonder. So this week, kind of a lot of shit going on this week. We've, as usual, we are just in the trenches out there scavenging all the finest information.
Scavenging is the key word.
Yeah,
and trenches.
Doing really, really innovative journalism. This week, a lot happened. Do we want to dive into Worlds first?
Yeah, we could do that.
World's Strongest Man wrapped up this past weekend unofficially.
Yeah.
Because technically it didn't happen, I guess. But there was some shit going on that I think like Hafthor Bjornsson won. Mm-hmm. We'll give that away right away.
Yep. Oh, so spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, if you were going to wait until Christmas to watch
Christmas Day is when it'll come out, but we're going to...
That still is the schedule they're sticking to?
I think there was a talk that they may air it in July. The first run in July, and then actually still run it on Christmas like they usually do.
Well, I wonder if they'll run the heats or like this last time. I think they aired like the heats on Thanksgiving and the finals on Christmas or something like that.
Well,
like
you don't want to put it through too strenuous of a production schedule.
Other than just eating on those days,
right?
Like I don't have any free time. I'm eating. But anyway, so Hafthor won, and then I think like immediately posted it on Instagram, which. Word is out that every athlete there had signed a non-disclosure agreement.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty curious about that.
Yeah,
he posted
and basically then the cat was out of the bag. So then also immediately World's Strongest Man then just hopped on board and they posted it too.
Yeah.
Well, but I noticed like maybe it wasn't
standings,
but that Janasha was posting like everything. Like he had videos.
Well, they were a lot of them are posting things, but you're supposed to like what I think they're supposed to say is I can't tell you what such and such, but it was a good day.
Reinforces every year that their model does not work with how they do this thing.
But the World's Strongest Man on Instagram, they're worth following. I think I don't know before this World's Strongest Man if I've ever followed them or seen much from them, but they were actually posting like some cool stuff and kind of like one thing that stuck out to me. There was almost like a jokey interview with a bunch of the different guys, and it was cutting from like Z to Robert Oberst, and they were reading troll comments.
I saw that. That was actually really good.
Robert Oberst is like, they all look like Shrek.
Yeah. And then they started making fun of Belzac for being called Ballsack.
Yeah.
And then they finished at the very end, if you saw the full version, because it was actually longer than the minute long. Mm-hmm. So if you saw the full version, the last line is Zadrunas going, he reads the thing and it says, none of your balls work. And he just looks at the camera and goes, fuck you.
But that type of stuff is good. I think
they should. Yeah, it gives the guys.
They need to do more of that.
Some of these guys are okay on social media, like other ones.
Some of them aren't.
Could really use some help, but this gives them a little bit of like publicity their way or some press.
One thing about the way that the heats worked, just one thing I kind of thought was interesting or different, the way the heats worked this year. So there's 5 heats, 10 people make the finals, 2 from each heat.
Number one
automatic bid to the finals, so that's 5 guys. The next 5 from each heat, second and third, faced off in stones. It didn't.
No matter what your points was,
yeah,
you either won. You won the stones.
And it was like head to head in stones. It didn't matter if you were ahead of the third place by 5 points. You two went against stones.
How did they previously do it?
It would just be a total of all
it just
5
time,
events.
just standings?
Well, yeah, just standings
Yeah.
of total points of the
So there was
heat.
definitely somebody that got screwed over,
Mark
and someone that
Felix
probably
was the
snuck
one
in.
right
Yeah.
away because he had like a pretty big lead.
Because he was highly in second.
And then kind of got beat just barely, I believe.
On stones.
On stones.
By
and then
who?
it fucked him. I don't remember.
That might have been like,
I don't know who made it
I can't
second
remember
out
if
of
it
that,
was.
but
Yeah, I don't remember.
But so Mark
which one.
Felix didn't get into the finals because of that?
Yeah,
Correct.
whereas he would have if it would have just been total, if they would have just been accumulating points through every event.
Yeah.
But the reason to do that, I guess, is then it's
it matters.
it's like you watch it and it's like, well, it doesn't matter what the points are. Whoever wins this is going to the.
And they do it head to head. So what's going to amount to is actually probably pretty entertaining television for sure.
It puts a lot of emphasis on the stones as an
does.
event, though, over the other events. So, you know, it's like, I mean, you have to do everything necessary to get to second and third
Was
in
that
other
a
events.
full bonus event?
Well, everyone did it. Everyone did.
Even first did it.
Well, first may
See, I don't
not
know
have.
if that was like an extra event. That's the part I didn't remember.
Well, no, because I know.
Because I thought they lined them up head to head.
Because like Brian, they did go head to head.
Yeah, third
and I
and
think
fourth.
everyone did it except for I think the first place guys didn't do it, but
So
the
they had
third and
already
fourth
locked
guys,
it,
yeah.
And then that was like an extra event.
Right.
We think.
Yeah.
We think. It's the official Massenomics stance is that we're not really sure.
But we got a feeling on
most
this
things.
one.
sure.
Yeah.
We were fortunate there. I got Starting Strongman had posted in their story like some person, and it was just a lady, bless her heart, on Instagram is your AYEYER, just posted videos and also live streamed everything on her Instagram. Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire fucking weekend, all of it
Yep.
was there live. And I think she had like 250 followers. And now she's like at 1,500 in like a week.
Yeah.
And it's just all meatheads, I'm sure. But anyway, it was actually pretty nice because you could go and you could actually watch, full videos of each, head-to-head deal. Like you basically had a live stream of everything, as long as you kind of knew where things were sitting.
Yep. The five.
I'm sure they were. World's Strongest Man is really thrilled that that's
Yeah. I'm surprised someone wasn't like, hey,
you
get out of here. The 5 winners of the heats were Thor Shaw, of course. You would assume that.
Yep.
Z ended up pulling out his, which was questionable.
despite some injuries.
Yeah.
Pulling out his.
His heat. He won first
he
place
won-
in his
oh,
heat.
okay.
Heat. Martins won his heat, and Mateus would be the other one. So those 5 would almost be the 5 you would kind of pick.
that's
None,
how-
none of those
Yeah.
sound like surprises to
and
me.
then the other 5 would have been Janasia, Ballsack, Oberst, JF Caron, and
what's it? What's
Els.
Els or something like that. Yeah.
Johan Els.
Yeah, a guy
from?
relatively.
He was relatively unknown by almost like the way Konstantin Janasia was last year.
ago,
I think even Cale Beck was like, I didn't even.
Yeah,
And even when they went to like do predictions for how it would flow, he was like, I don't know, I just put him near the bottom because I didn't know much about the guy.
And he is big and he is strong.
Where's he from?
Some country
Like Europe? Or?
yeah, like Eastern Europe or something. I don't really know, or South Africa, or I have no idea.
Yeah, it was. And then so going into it, I don't even know what all the events were, or really how they all played out. I know there was a
First event was frame, an 825-pound frame, and the thing about their frame,
some scandalously small handles.
yes, 1 inch, 1 inch handles, and it's been like that always at World Strong. I've seen these frames used many years for a long time, and I always have seen that it shreds these guys' hands. And
Does 1 inch compare to anything that we have in the gym?
Like a barbell,
yeah, what is a barbell?
28 millimeters.
Yeah.
I don't know what that.
Just punch it in the old
Well,
number
let's
I think
machine.
that's bigger than an inch, isn't it, or not?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's see.
But usually it would be probably like 1.5 inches or something. And the thing is, these guys all have enormous
Yes,
hands.
yeah, so it's
relative
like a
for
regular
them.
person holding a golf club.
right. But Janashi, I know, like completely shredded his hands to the point where he couldn't hardly do any of the other events for the day.
1.1 inches in diameter.
Is a barbell.
Yeah,
so
so
slightly
barbell,
less smaller than
Basically
that.
a barbell, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's-
but
that would suck.
it cut up a lot of their hands pretty bad. But I know Janashia's were really bad, and he couldn't hardly do anything else. Z I don't know if he got hurt in that event or at
There
the
was
end
like
of
there was. I think he
Yeah.
was like a couple of injuries. There
Yeah.
was, I don't even remember
his
what
Achilles
it was.
/ calf. I know was one issue, but like he got last in the frame. I don't know if he finished the other events of day 1, and then he didn't even compete in day 2.
Oh, he didn't?
He dropped out.
Okay.
So he got 10th.
Yep.
Which
It's kind of a bummer.
sucks. And so you kind of wonder what the
It
future
just
for
all
for him will
signs
hold.
point towards like this is starting to
It's
really
just,
be the end
and it's
for
just
him.
injuries.
Yeah,
And
well,
if he's healthy, like you
I'm
said,
sure
he
he's
won
in the
his
top
shit.
5 if
he won
yeah.
his his heat healthy.
Yeah.
But it just never. Remember the Arnold 2 years ago? He's coming in looking big again. Everything's falling into place. Hurt. Fuck.
Yep.
And so it's just year before that wins the Arnold. So what do you?
Yeah.
What do you have to do? Like
right.
So it's I don't know. It's interesting.
But
with him.
Mateos looked really good though. He won the frame. He beat Thor. Beat Shaw. Shaw got second on that. I think he beat Thor. He flew through that.
Jeez,
pretty
yeah,
impressive.
And
overall,
so,
he was really impressive. I think.
So he was in second, finished second overall. Shaw was third.
And he beat Shaw by a point.
Yeah, and Lixus was fourth. And so Mateus and Martins both though are like 100 pounds lighter than Shaw and Thor.
Mateus, like to me, he like has that like weird farm strength where it's like
Yes.
he
He's
can
a
just
guy-
like pick up awkward things or just
Yeah.
he's unnaturally good at certain things for whatever reason.
As it stands right now, they say basically like his deadlift.
Yeah, his deadlift is the only
what's
thing.
keeping him from. But then I want to finish that with keeping him from fucking what?
Yeah.
He's the second
First.
strongest man in the world. Like his really horribly deficient deadlift that makes him
he
stronger
can do
than everyone on the
800
planet.
though, can he?
Yeah, I mean,
Borderline,
What did he
yeah.
do at the Arnold? It was 8+.
I thought it was low 8s, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I think it was
Because didn't they start at like 750 or 775?
Yeah, and I think it was like just over 8 that he got. But when the other guys are 1,000, it's
you're just gonna be. That's almost like what I don't know. What do you do? But frankly, like he fucking doormatted everybody else on that stone to shoulder event. He moves really good.
Yeah.
Things
That
like
He's a
surprised
good
me,
overhead presser too, so it's not like just a static strength
He's a surprising
thing.
presser.
That does surprise me that he
His
won the
one-arm
frame
shit.
carry. Like that's
His one arm shit 2 years
he's
ago,
really
3
good at
years
the
ago with
dumbbell.
that sear or the big dumbbell. Like it was basically him, Shaw, and Dimitar. Were the only ones who were really even playing ball with that thing.
Yep.
Which puts you in the realm of the 3 best dumbbell pressers in the world.
Look, a positive for Mateus this year was the deadlift at Worlds was a car deadlift. So I think if you're a poorer deadlifter, that's your that's an advantageous for it to be a car deadlift because that's a little different.
It is.
And I still think he got like third to last or something. But Shaw and Thor tied on that. Thor did 12. And Shaw got to go after him in the last go, and he got like barely 12. That looked quite a bit
So would
harder
you say
than,
since at the Massenomics Strongman people were doing 20 that they're just not as good at car deadlifting as we are?
They got some
That just
work to
means
do.
we're better than
I
them.
think so.
They got some work to do.
Because they both say car deadlift, so you got to assume they're the same.
Well,
right?
it's one car. We lifted the same amount. Like
Basically.
Same number of wheels.
I don't know what kind of cars they have in the Philippines, but
probably smaller than
probably
ours.
not a lot of fucking Chevy Impalas.
Thor won the overhead press. It was a clean and press, and he did 450 pounds, and nobody else did that.
Really?
I also did you see some of the discussion about that?
About the bar and stuff, or like the Rogue bar or something?
Your CrossFit / Olympic weightlifting type people. So this wasn't actually an axle bar.
It was a special Rogue bar.
It was a special Rogue bar that had bearings and spun, and it was a regular grip. So it was
how big, like regular grip, like you're saying?
just like a regular bar. It was a
so
regular barbell, basically, and then they had axles on it. So, or not axles. I'm sorry, wagon wheels.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, they still were continental cleaning it, and so you get these frankly, it was a lot of 165-pound fucking people. Like, geez, there's plenty of Olympic weightlifters that can clean and jerk that, like without it looking like dog shit. Because they just don't know what a continental clean is.
Yeah, right.
They also, it's like,
are you allowed? Well, I guess this is probably the first time anyone's done an axle with a barbell. Like, would you technically
Or a
be
wagon
allowed to
wheel.
even do a jerk though? Or
no, they
clean.
can jerk. Yeah, you could squat clean it or do whatever you want. You could get however you get it to your chest.
But
is fine.
a continental clean is easier, though. I mean, like
it is.
First,
It is easier. It's also like if those guys, they almost never ever have the opportunity.
I was going to say
to do a true
So they're
clean
not
because
trained
you're
like
never
that.
dealing
Yeah.
with a bar that rotates. The other thing is doing that with fucking wagon wheels is different.
Yeah.
And one of the things Cale Beck said, do that a day or do that the same day as carrying 825 pounds and ripping your hands to shit.
and deadlifting a car for 12 reps.
Yeah, like and not a car like the one we lift.
Yeah.
So you have all these like regular sized small people who are like, well, there's a lot of, there's some 105 kilo Olympic lifters that could clean and jerk that easily, and it's like, yes, but did they carry 900 pounds?
Well, and it's also the specificity of training. Is when you're an Olympic weightlifter, you clean and jerk and you snatch.
You do two things.
Yeah.
And when you're a strongman, that's your goal isn't to be the most proficient clean and jerk.
And that's what's always interesting is those like they still are hanging in just raw power, getting a weight from the ground to overhead with anybody in the world.
Because isn't 450? That would still be a
It'd be pretty fucking good.
There's not very many 500, right?
There's some 500s. Some 500s happen, in the super heavy class. But like, that's also then super heavy class. It trains for two lifts, and that guy, I promise you, is not deadlifting 1,000 pounds. That guy ain't carrying nothing anywhere. That guy, those guys, like you talk about, they're trying to call it the athleticism of these strongman competitors. It's like, you motherfuckers don't even take 2 steps in your event. You know what I mean? Like, what are you? Where are you coming from?
True.
It's
more, it's like it's
so I
comparable
thought
to powerlifting.
That was pretty interesting. I was like, where the fuck is this? Coming from? And it's just like, I know a guy who could do that. It's like, well, kind of. Like, on his best day, maybe. Or you heard of a guy who heard of a guy who heard of a guy.
Not in the Philippines at 9 in the,
Yeah, trust me, they would have invited him if he fucking deserved it.
Right. Well, that's what it used to be like at one point in time. And at one point in time, that guy that can do that would have been in.
He'd have been there, and he
Man.
got smashed and everything else.
Exactly.
And they would have been like, all right, that's why he's not there. Because that guy probably was there at some point, and they were like, yeah, we're not fighting those guys anymore.
Right. Day 2, I think, was truck pull, something and stone. Oh, a medley, a pretty cool
and this
medley.
Is the finals you're talking.
Yeah. So that day 1 was the frame, the overhead, and the what did we say? The car deadlift. And then day 2, the last 3 events, which would have just been yesterday, I guess.
A 5K run.
Yeah, a 5K run.
And
a fun run, they called it.
No points for this one. Warm up.
But they gave some charity to march it down. They gave away like some few $1,000s to march it down.
And there's some color in there too, right?
They painted each other's face. But what was it? The Stones was last. The truck pull was first.
There was a moving medley.
Yeah, and the medley.
Carry medley.
So they had to do the truck pull first. And could you imagine?
With torn hands.
After those first, like you wake up in the morning and they have to go pull a bus.
And your hands are dog shit.
Yeah. Shad got like 4th in that. Thor was up there. But the medley I thought was cool. Did either of you guys see footage of the medley at all?
It was like an anchor
something?
The anchor.
And then I don't remember what else. And there was a sandbag.
There's a couple, and then there was like a safe, like a rectangular, just block of metal.
Yeah. And that one, like, I don't know what I saw the final deal with
Mateus
Thor and Mateus.
Thor.
Now,
Those two.
I don't know what the point swing would be if that really mattered. I don't think it would have been enough.
No, because Thor won by like 5 points.
Yeah,
and Mateus got second. It's not like
It's not like there was a bunch of space in between.
Yeah.
So, but there was like a quarter or a half a second in between.
Those two flew. And you watch that, and then you watch the way Shaw goes. You're like, dang, Shaw cannot.
Well, he's
move
so
like those guys.
I just don't know if he is choosing to.
That's what I mean. Like feels like he's not he's more methodical and not rushing.
Now I get being methodical if you are like when he's trying to do certain things like
sizing up the frame carry for 5 minutes.
kicking all the stuff off the thing,
looking at the round atlas stone,
picking up the stone and turning it around and yelling at people to do things for him and clean this and do this. I get that. But the clock's fucking running. Mm-hmm. Like at this point, the clock's running. You got to go.
Yeah.
And that's what you can see a lot is like he is pretty methodical and he does just kind of do enough in his balance and all stuff. But at some point, you do got to go.
Yeah.
If it's a moving event, you got to move.
Yeah.
Like you can't just, I'll take my time and maybe get third because that's kind of how you finish in third.
Because Kilkowski and Thor did not do that. They flew. You were like, whoa.
They were also both like at risk of face planting. You know what I mean? But that's what it takes. I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to go.
Yeah, well, those guys got first and second.
How far was the
in
distance
the competition?
on it?
Each one got closer. Like the
You
last one
started
wasn't very far.
you started maybe 30 feet away.
Yeah.
And
You would be
finished
pretty
right
dog-ass tired by then.
Oh, yeah.
In
It
30,
sucked.
40 seconds of that,
Yeah.
would
And
be
that sandbag was like 360 pounds.
Yep.
big. Like,
Big around.
Yeah.
Like some people could hardly really like the short people like
yeah.
couldn't really deal with it.
Yeah.
Like,
So how tall is Mateus?
I think
He's like 6'4". Oh, okay,
No,
maybe he's.
but we better find out.
yeah.
I could be wrong. I think he's.
What I thought is he's listed at like 6'4", but when you see the picture of all 10 of them, he looked like barely shorter than Shaw and Thor.
That's what.
Because I saw someone make the comment, even like he's either they're either lying about his height or
Yeah.
he's knows how to out
The
angle
height thing
everyone
is
else.
such an illusion with everyone there. Like
Yeah.
even at the Arnold, the guys walk out and they're up on the stage and they're all lined up. It's like
Well, we
they're all
walked. We
big
walked
guys.
past him.
Yeah.
we were at the Arnold because he. I don't remember where he was at. He kind of moved past us. They have him listed right
6'3"
here,
or
6'2", and I don't
Yeah.
believe that for a
Jeez.
second.
No, I think the
I think
dude's
he's
like
at least
23.
6'5",
He probably
like-
has grown like 4 inches in the last few years, and I wouldn't be surprised, But
Yeah.
he looks all of 6'5", I think, in
Yeah,
comparison
I mean,
to the other
I
guys.
thought he was. Yeah, that's kind of. I just kind of figured he was like 6'5", 6'7" in that range. But yeah, he looks comparably sized. Did you see the picture, Tommy? I'll pull it up here real quick.
I think the Stones' last event ended up being a little anticlimactic too, because it was pretty
There was
much
nothing
like
really on the line.
not much. I don't think it was. Thor was so far ahead.
I mean, obviously they're in like.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that's. He doesn't look like he's out angling anybody. And he looks pretty,
Yeah, he
basically
looks
as tall.
comparable, doesn't he? Yeah.
But 100 pounds lighter than that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like,
he does look bigger than last year at Worlds, and like if he
Yeah.
gets bigger again, he's gonna be
Him and Martins are my
Yeah.
two. I mean, I don't know who else coming up is.
Those two
who
would
else
be-
is who else is young?
I don't know how old Konstantin Janashi is, but he didn't end up placing really well. I think his hands were an issue, but he's really, I don't know how old he is, if he's as young as those guys, but he's a guy that he could have been up there if, Shaw and JF Caron are both a little bit older, I think, that it doesn't seem like, I don't know what would have to happen in order for Shaw to be able to win those competitions over Thor anymore. Like, it just doesn't seem like,
I don't
He
want to,
can,
and
I don't know.
I don't want to say we called it, but going into the Arnold, even we had kind of said, based solely on what we were seeing out of Thor's training, it's like Thor really seems to be just getting.
I think there the
after
footnote
it.
was
Yeah.
like, he always has a stupid
Kinda
mental
screws up.
mistake, but he's
But
kind of got that out of his system
I
too.
just
now.
think I think he's so talented and so strong and athletic that I think now he's got a buffer where he can fuck up now.
Yeah.
He can make some mistakes now. Like the margin's not that tight.
yeah.
Wasn't that tight at the Arnold? Like he could have done a couple things wrong at the Arnold and been fine.
I wonder two things. One thing, first of all, we had a video of Stan Efferding, and it was titled "The Stan Trains the Two Strongest Men in the World."
Yeah.
And
So
someone
it's technically false now, right?
well,
Well,
am I crazy in making that
No,
statement?
no.
Like,
No.
also the thing is if people were trying to shoot, like, you can't be like, that is patently false. Like,
Whoa,
there
pump
is
the
no,
brakes.
back up. You need to, that is so wrong, so far off base that you have to include this one and not one of those others.
What I found out through that, we had a post on our Instagram,
Yep.
stuff, and there are some Eddie Hall fans that are like,
oh my God.
insane. There was like DMs from British people like mad about that like Eddie he's injured right now. If
Eddie,
he was
he's done.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
He's,
It's like-
choosing to
but they're
be
like,
done. Where are you at?
And
with this?
their thing is, if he was there now, he would be there. If
This
if
is-
Eddie
you think
Hall would have
it's-
competed
this
this year, I
is-
don't think he would have been on the podium.
No, I don't
No,
believe
do
so.
you think it's because he had a documentary, so people feel like they know him
And
more?
My problem
UK
is, like-
is really big in strongman too. That's
my
part
thing
of it.
though is like the Eddie Hall, that type of Eddie Hall fan makes me like Eddie Hall less.
Yeah.
and I fucking really like Eddie
Yeah.
Hall.
Those
But
movies
here's-
are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but here's how I compare it to. Okay, you're hanging on to a thing, right? So Eddie Hall was great. Great. Eddie Hall fucking retired. Like, he's just going to do Europes. And you got to remember, he only kind of did Europes last. Like, he just did one event. Like, chose to do the one. He got hurt and all that stuff. But, like, did you think for real that he was going to do the whole thing? Like the way he was only hyping up one event going in anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he wasn't calling his shot on winning it.
Right.
So my thing with that though is, so Eddie had his little run, won once. That's it. And he was done. And now you have these people, it's the equivalent of the LeBron versus Michael Jordan story or debate. Except they're thinking that a 50-year-old Michael Jordan could actually beat LeBron now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, listen, okay, so you're going to take last year's Eddie and bring him in here. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. But also, this is a different Thor now than you had last year. And
Definitely.
also, last year's Eddie is not the Eddie that was there. And that's not the Eddie that's walking around right now. That guy, I don't think, fucking podiums this year.
And the events for the year that Eddie
Are
won
not.
were suited
These
very
events,
well
these events
for
are
him.
not Eddie Hall events, not a one of them.
Right. I mean, the deadlift is I mean, he still, I believe he probably would have won the deadlift,
Probably,
the car
yeah.
deadlift. But that
Carry
guy's
medley,
argument.
I don't know.
That Eddie Hall superfans argument was that Thor had not won a World's Strongest Man, so that's over. At least that's out the window. Like now, like
The other thing with that too, though, is now Thor has, staked claim that Eddie can't, which is he won all three in the same year, which nobody has.
right.
So,
yes,
so where's
exactly.
that go now? And it's like, but then you're gonna get Shaw got 4 and Z's got 4,
Yeah.
and it's like, I get it, guys.
But if you're just talking, who's the point is that in the world right now, who do you think the strongest man, like to
the two,
and
for real, like Kielkowski got second. I don't know. I still probably put
I would still say Thor and Shaw.
I'm also really glad that Kielkowski got second.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking
awesome.
stoked for that dude.
Yeah.
He's a guy. Him and Martins are two guys that I have loved the last 3-4 years. Since the Arnold 3 years ago, I've absolutely loved watching those two follow the shit out.
And like that, they can be that size. Like they don't have to be almost 7 feet and 400 plus pounds, and they can still hang. Like, that's
like
pretty cool.
It's like they're regularly sized 6'5", 345 pound people.
They're just a regular guy
Just a
competing.
regular old dude.
It's promising though for the there to be potential competition for Thor.
Yeah.
Like that those guys are coming up. Otherwise, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
What I wonder about Thor, though, is if, he's obviously acted on Game of Thrones and does 1,000 other things. Like, I wonder what his time span in the sport of strongman is going to be like until he's like, I'm going to just act and make a lot more money than what I'm making right now.
That's the truth is he's making a lot of money, probably doing all sorts of things right
Yeah.
now. But what's the one thing that's probably going to start to hurt him? Is the strongman. Like, it's going to hurt him
It's
physically.
got the
That's also going to
life.
shorten his lifespan.
Strongman
more
probably
than
doesn't
anything
pay
else.
royalties on re-airings of the shows
Yeah.
and stuff.
And so I heard, the most interesting thing I heard was how much money is it going to take for Vince McMahon to get Hafthor on the fucking roster?
You would think that would
even at a once or twice
Like a
year.
WrestleMania.
Just do the Brock Lesnar
Yeah.
thing. Come in once or twice a year.
That's
Literally just.
And kids would be like, yeah.
And the thing is,
and he
would look
huge
compared to the
huge.
huge guys you normally think of in the WWE.
yeah,
Like it would be like
why
the
they
biggest-
haven't tried to pull that together.
That's a good
or
point.
or why is the WWE not farming those guys? Because a lot of those guys are physically.
Don't they
imposing.
say though that the WWE has like strict testing?
Oh yeah,
now?
they do that now.
But if
I
it got to
think-
that point, he could be
yeah,
like,
Hafthor Bjornsson.
Yeah.
Like he's there. He comes out once a year.
Yeah.
It's the Brock Lesnar thing. Like
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar was in the WWE, passing drug tests, gets called up on short notice to go to the UFC.
fails immediately.
Literally just competed hot as a fucking stove.
Yeah.
Failed the test, lost half his money, but still got half his money, which is more than he was going to get. And then went right back to the WWE, and not a single word was said about
Someone's
it.
like, "Oh, you robbed a bank, but you got away with it for 2 weeks.
But
so
we're
we'll let
going to
you keep
need
it."
half the money, Brock.
Don't you think the draw for Thor and all those other things is going to get stronger and stronger?
You would
and like,
assume.
I wonder when he's going to be like, that's good enough. Like maybe he's like, maybe he thinks he has to win 5 or 4 or 3,
maybe
or maybe
that's-
he's just like, maybe he just wanted to win one and is like,
Or maybe this is his thing. He got he is
Yeah.
from Iceland. He might. It might be his calling
Yeah.
to prove that he is the strongest
Yeah.
man who's ever been alive.
well, and that's what.
And there's something to be said
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
Like, like he's got the time.
Yep.
He's got the genetics. He's got everything there. Like,
Yep.
if anyone was poised to put together a run, Thor now, I would say, is far more poised to put together a nice long run of 2, 3, 4. Obviously, we're getting way ahead of ourselves 2 days after it happened. But then I would have said Eddie Hall was last year.
Oh, yes.
Eddie won last year. It's like, whew, I'm glad Eddie got it because I don't think he could have won a second one if the events didn't line up for him.
No. It was interesting. I saw Shaw's podium finishes of like the last 10 years, and it's like third, second, first, third, second, first, third. Like, it's man, that is crazy over a 10-year span.
Yeah.
Like, he's not winning every year, but
He is right there.
it's first, second, third all the time.
And that's the thing is it's also way too preemptive to be like, when is Shaw going to pack it up?
right.
Because there are guys out there that are like, like they were saying about JF Corona, he's like perpetually the 5th strongest man in the world.
Yeah.
Like Terry Hollins, who goes there just like, I'd like to make it to the final. Maybe doesn't. But like, these guys that can keep going and going and going. Like Brian Shaw could hang at that level until he chooses to not.
A long time.
A long time. There's going to be
Yeah.
a long time before there's 10 people
Yes.
that are even going to keep him out of the final. Like,
yes. Definitely. Z, on the other hand, I don't think at this point it probably isn't early to start saying like,
No.
Yeah,
just because of the
there's
injury,
been a
it's an
pattern,
injury issue.
like
But
a serious pattern of injury at this point.
And the thing that probably bums me out the most is I only ever got to see one like Zadrunas year, even like one competition, but I just didn't pay enough attention to the sport much before then.
yeah.
And so I caught basically the last year, the Arnold, which was the year that that was the year that Bjornsson won was filmed.
Yeah. And he won.
And that was the one he won. And then basically I haven't got to see him compete since. Especially since we've got all these bomb-ass seats now. I can't fucking see him at the Arnold. But that's a real shame, though, because that's I think, is as good of a career as you're going to put together in strong in that sport.
Yep.
He's a bad man.
He's a bad man.
But it's Thor's time to shine now.
Yep. Brian Benzel, friend of the podcast, did well.
He
though.
actually did really well. He kind of just narrowly got edged out of the final.
He came in as an alternate, and he didn't make the finals. He got he was in a tie for third and fourth in his heat, or he said he was in a tie for third, but because of some count back tiebreaker, he didn't get to do the final.
It was like a time thing or something like that.
But I was really hoping he was going to make.
That'd have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Yeah. So if you guys don't follow Brian, check him out on Instagram. He's
B.
from
Benzel, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, he still has. He's not at his ceiling, is he? I mean, he can.
Oh
still,
no, I don't think so.
No.
So like a finals appearance isn't unrealistic.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think he's definitely good. Did we ever figure out why he got bumped up? Why Iron Bibby got?
I heard he
There was
had
claim that was an injury, but he didn't. He came to the.
I heard he had
Philippines.
malaria.
That was another talk, but then there was also people. There was a whole like drug conversation that got brought up about that, but they only drug test for like what's the word I'm looking for? Like black market stimulants like cocaine and amphetamines.
Because isn't that what Marius Pujanowski
yeah,
got
like
popped for?
somebody,
that's what that actually was.
like somebody somewhere, and obviously this is the worst way to speculate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So somebody on the internet somewhere said a thing, but I think it was that there was actually like people talking, and it was like subtitled. And they were showing it. And it was like no, it wasn't no malaria. It was yada yada yada.
Okay.
But I just thought it was odd to show up and get malaria on like your second day.
Yeah.
But apparently when you go there, they do like really intense physicals before they let you compete.
Yeah.
So you can actually not be medically cleared.
Yeah.
And so that must have been. And isn't he from? Where's he from?
I don't know. I saw a
Someplace
post
in the
of
middle
it.
of nowhere.
Yeah, where you said he was coming back and
Yeah.
welcome him, and it looked pretty. I don't know what the word you'd use.
Not
is,
the
but-
type of place I'd be interested in living
Yes,
in.
you're correct. Because he said it like had a parade for him, and it's like dirt roads and like maybe
Yeah.
a couple people on old mopeds and
Did you ever,
like,
did you ever see that Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where they like the gang finally tips and they're like certain now they're gonna be successful and get rich. So Mac has this map of the world on his wall, and they're like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, now that I think we're finally made it, I think I'm gonna try to figure out where parts of the world I want to go see. I want to get out there and travel. He's like, well, what's with all these X's? He's like, places I don't want to go. And he's like Russia X, Africa X, South America X, Canada X, just everything off, and then like half of the Midwest is gone, and like, yeah, it was pretty great. But that's what I feel like when I see that. I was like, probably not going to visit that.
Yeah.
place.
Yes.
It looks like it's gross
Yep.
and sweaty. I don't like sweaty countries.
It looked really sweaty too where he was at.
So that pretty much wraps up our world's talk conversation, I think. Did we have anything else out of that we needed to
No, that was
beat up?
We'll just
that was the highlights.
stay on our
the
toes
lowlights.
until the show airs.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know. You'll be the first to hear it from us. What else went on this weekend? We had.
Weren't you saying something about Dimitar?
Yeah. So Dimitar was not at Worlds.
He wasn't there at all.
No,
I
he
don't
didn't
know
qualify.
why he
To,
didn't
him and
qualify.
Jerry Pritchett, and who else? Someone else came to mind that didn't get invited, and it's like because those guys are pretty into the Arnold circuit, and that's not
It doesn't
the
jive.
feeder to World's Strongest Man. So it's kind of lame though to not have Dimitar and Jerry Pritchett. And,
But so Dimitar though had posted on his Instagram recently that he has signed up for a powerlifting meet, and I am really excited to see that.
Yeah.
I'm also really excited to see if he can maybe like set a precedent, like if he can do that, maybe like call a couple of these other guys out, be like, hey, listen, we got a big off season here. Go fucking do 3 lifts this weekend. Like, don't, you know what I mean? Don't make a big deal. Like, you don't have to like train for it since it's not your thing. But every one of these guys can squat and deadlift. So
I think Dimitar is going to be pretty well rounded.
He seems like he just should be a good powerlifter for how much
he posted
he has packed on it.
Posted this weekend. He squatted 950 for a single, and it was a good squat.
It's pretty legit.
And
after driving 1,100 miles.
Yeah. So
let's see what we got here.
It wasn't easy, but it was 950 pounds.
Yeah, walked out. What's he got here? First off, a stunning green singlet.
Look at his hair and beard. He also has a hair and beard now too.
It didn't look easy, but it moved. And he says, "How about that depth now?"
Yeah, that
looked good. Buried it.
A 950 squat at the Arnold. This was on the elephant bar, but he pulled 930 pounds. So he could be looking at a 9+ squat, a 9+ deadlift.
Yeah, I don't know what he can do without straps. That's the question.
That's true. That's true.
This was him benching 575 just in some training.
He's got a big belly.
Boy, his belly is serious, man.
But even if he did 9, 9, and 6, which
I think 6 is definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I mean those are strong numbers.
You know, maybe 950 squat and 850 deadlift and a 600-pound bench. What is that?
Still 2,400 total just walking in, like.
And that's
I mean that puts him in really up there.
Right.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
I'd totally be down with that trend if more people hopped on that.
Yes.
Should I have Dimitar coach me? He's selling coaching.
Ooh.
That'd be fun. Like, what's up, D?
I want you to.
I want you to, Tyler.
Dimitar, can we just
want to hear what that's like?
Can we be best friends now?
So did he say when this meet is that he's doing?
I'm not sure.
I don't know when the deadline is here. What do we got?
Just shows up to the US Open and takes best lifter.
That would be great. Oh, I think I got some comments here. Powerlifting meet is May 26th.
So that's
a couple weeks.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. I just would like to see that because that's going to spark some really cool conversations, right? And then I think somebody's going to put their money where their mouth is, right? At some point, everybody's going to be like,
"You would think."
Oh, I don't believe Shaw will do it. I don't believe Hafthor will do it.
No,
There's just too much riding on it now. But I think everyone else is a possibility.
I could see him taking a shot at it.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they invited some of the guys to the tribute meet to see like if someone actually took the invite.
Yeah.
I don't know if powerlifting people would like it if one of these guys showed up and won it though.
These are already the guys that get money for things.
Yeah, they're the only ones getting it.
They show up to the one event that makes money and get it. Yeah, that probably wouldn't go over too good.
We've got also US Open coming up this week. The lists of the flights of that were fucking pretty crazy.
There's a lot of big names in there. I thought the 198-pound class was interesting. Joe Sullivan is in there, Ben Pollock, and Kaylor Woolham.
Oh, he is.
All those,
198.
those three guys are all down to in 198. I mean, for Joe and Kayla, that would be a cut, and for Ben, I think that's probably his normal weight
Do you
class.
know who had their flights must have been on their? Oh, here it is. It's in their stories, but they left them there that way. We've got a lot to go through here.
There's a lot of flights.
Yeah,
because it's 2 days, correct?
Yeah.
Are they still doing it the same format?
It's 2 days, and it might even be 2 platforms even.
Are they doing the format
Yeah,
with
there is
like the
2
220 and
platforms.
under?
Yeah. It's I think it's 198 and under is
and
the
then
lightweight.
220 and up is
yeah.
the-
Kayla Willem,
Yeah.
Ben Pollock, Joe Sullivan, heavyweight men's 110 kilo. Chris Bridgeford, Yuri Belkin, Kevin Oak.
Dang.
Here's some more.
I was gonna say, it's been a couple months since Yuri Belkin's done a meet. He's really slowed his pace.
I
down
know,
for a while.
right?
And then in the final flight, which would be the big boys, you've got Larry Wheels, Rob, Quads Like Rob, Dennis Cornelius, Jake Johns, which is big SC boy,
Oh,
Brandon Allen, JP Price, Sean Doyle, and several other people.
man, that would actually be that
Yeah.
flight alone would be really fun to watch.
Now,
Yeah.
I would say best shit talk of the week comes from Dan Bell in regards to this.
to Brandon.
He said,
Brandon
Allen.
yeah.
What a beautiful Monday. Dan posts about 5 or 6 videos, all in one post, saying, just wanted to wish him best of luck this coming weekend at the US Open. Here's a handful of my 1,000+ pound squats. I can't wait to watch this weight fold you in half.
Are those two buddies, kind of, or
must be.
When I read that, I was like,
then-
wonder if Dan doesn't like Brandon.
Brandon's response is, haha, I'm taking the record home, baby boy.
I assumed they're kind of our buddies.
So why do you guys know why Dan isn't doing the U.S. Open?
I don't think he likes to walk out his squats.
he
Oh
doesn't wanna
yeah,
walk
that's
anything
right.
out.
I forgot they do that.
Now,
Yep.
now somebody said something along the lines of, especially since you're walking it out, automatically makes it more impressive. And someone said, I hope you're joking. And Dan said,
That will be a forever
yeah,
argument. of
Dan's
people like-
response I like is funny. He said, haha, no, he's not the dick riding West Coasters who care more about a walkout than a fucking total. Which kind of is true. But yeah, that's some good trash talk right there. I like that a lot.
There's a guy today that was pretty adamant that no one under 220 pounds is qualifies as a lifter or can move any serious weight, and I rebutted that, and I was happy to see I got a lot of support from reputable people in the community between Dan,
Yeah.
Chris
I would
Duffin,
go,
Chris
I would
Bridgeford.
go
specifically-
simply to Kaler and Yuri.
That's what I
Specifically, he was
That's all I
calling
really
out
need to-
Ben
Ben
Pollock
Pollock.
when it's like, well, he also totals over 2,000.
Because the claim was Ben Pollock won the U.S. Open, and he goes, or a U.S. Open best lifter, and the guy goes, he's definitely not the U.S. Open best lifter, and I said, he won the
literally-
U.S. Open title of best lifter.
Yeah, like that's not actually, believe it or not, that's not up
that
for
is a
debate.
fact.
That's the thing that you win, and that's how that works.
And then his response to that is, yeah, but anyone under 220 pounds doesn't really even count anyone. No one cares about those guys. And I
now
said,
listen, I'm with you. As a big guy, but those guys are all stronger than all of us.
well, that's the point.
That's
It's like,
where I'm at. It's like,
are you going to tell that to Kaler Willem, Joe Sullivan,
I will
Ben
say
Pollock,
I
Yuri
will say
Belkin?
that to lots of people under 220 pounds who aren't
Yes.
very strong.
Yes.
But yeah, that's pretty fun. But that'll be a big fucking meet. Stacy Burr's eyeing down basically world record.
Yep. She probably wants to win the money.
I
would
know,
guess.
my-
Steffi Cohn's probably going to make
Yeah,
a run at that,
Steffi
too.
Cohn. Yeah.
And then I know Stacy was sick, like hospitalized
Yeah, I
for like
saw
a week,
that.
Oh,
a few
really?
weeks ago, which is not ideal towards
Yeah.
your peaking training. But I don't know. She's fucking pretty intense. I don't know that there's much that's gonna. I wouldn't bet against her. That would be
No.
So in the lightweight one, I'll read you just a couple of names, go over them again, so you guys can tell me who you think's going to win lightweight men's best overall lifter. Big ones in this one, I would say Joe Sullivan, and I'll of course miss people that are probably
That I
less
just-
famous
yeah,
that
that might be really good.
Yeah,
We just
yeah. So
don't
I'm not trying to short those people in any way. I'm just saying the
Just
the
missed
popular
them on the
names.
last
Listen,
televised meet they were in.
and powerlifting is a popularity contest when it comes to podcasts.
Yes.
It has to be.
Yes. So Joe Sullivan, Ben Pollock, Kaler Willem, Then I would go a little lighter. We would say John Hack, Malik Deerstein, Pitbull Torres, and those would kind of be the ones I would.
He just deadlifted like 7 something. At
Yeah.
Like, what's his body weight's like? Basically nothing.
Yeah, he is
It's like 130.
82.5. So is that
Oh,
180?
that's bigger than I thought.
Yeah,
181 or 183
that'd
or
be,
whatever.
right up there. Yeah, 181, I think.
Yeah. So who do you
That's
guys?
bigger than I thought.
I mean,
I don't even know as far as totals.
yeah.
I think like Sullivan's a pretty well-rounded power lifter. That's the key. Like Kaler is also a good deadlifter and a pretty good bencher compared to how good of a deadlifter he is. Like that it holds up.
Yep. His benches will be
And
solid
I don't
in
think
comparison
his
to those
squat
other
is
guys.
shit. But it's
When was the last time you did a meet at 198 though? That or whatever that is.
Yeah, it'll be
that would be the
lighter for
real
him.
thing. There is if that's
for Joe, this is a pretty big cut for he wasn't he competed at like 220 at this last year. I know, so he'll be lighter too. Ben is the reigning champ.
Yeah, like I mean, he has
his training has been off the radar. He had a post about that. Like nobody knew if he was actually going to do this or not because
because he's just kept it quiet.
Well, he said he's has a whole bunch of things going on in his life, and it hasn't been ideal, and he didn't want the extra stress of putting stuff out on social media and all that. So I take that for what it's worth. But what do you think? Who's for? Is it? I think it's is it 40 grand again this year that they win?
I would assume. Is it?
They're all going to try really hard.
Yep.
For $40,000
for the participation trophy. It'll be.
I'm going to push.
Someone like John Hack, he's in the lighter class.
Yeah.
So but I guess I'm going to go with Joe Sullivan. I don't think maybe he's not the most popular pick, but I think I could see him.
I think
he does some pretty crazy stuff in all the lifts.
Well, and I just think he's really well-rounded.
Yeah.
And also not like I don't.
But Ben Pollock's the world record
that's the
holder
deal.
at that weight
That's
class.
exactly
like
it.
he's
So,
done
like,
more than anyone else.
So he's
ever
going to
had.
have to like leave something on the platform.
Yeah,
He's going to have to leave something out on the platform for somebody to take.
I think Kaler Williams just gives up too much in the squat to be competitive there.
I agree, probably.
The only difference is if he smokes everyone on the deadlift.
Yeah, if he
pulls
pulls
a lot of
nine.
But a lot of these guys are pulling like 8 though.
Yeah,
so it's
true. But I don't know how much variability you're going to have with the meet. Then you know what I mean? Like third lift of the day. If Kaler hangs a big number and a couple people lay a fucking egg, a missed second attempt is a big fucking problem. When it comes to if you got somebody that can beat you by.
Kaler wears a Massenomics hat all the time.
That's true.
The real test will be if he wears it on meet day.
Joe wears the Massenomics shirt.
He does.
Oh.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to put our money on those two.
Yeah. Yep. It's been decided.
There we go. All right. So the heavier guys, should I just go to kind of the big dogs?
Pick from our famous.
Yeah, pick from our. Well, I guess I can't go too high because we'd miss Yuri Belkin. He is.
I would say he's definitely a front runner.
Chris Bridgeford, Yuri Belkin, Kevin Oak. Go to the next flight up here. We've got. Andy Hong, which would be what's his handle on
the
huge Asian guy.
Yeah.
Perseus Black. I wondered if that was that guy from Alabama. Perseus, like it's Perseus.
I don't know.
He's one in the Massenomics Alabama contingency. I never looked at that, but because he's a very strong man. But okay, then we get to this last fight where we've got Larry Wheels, Quads Like Rob, Dennis Cornelius, Jake Johns, Brandon Allen, J.P. Price, Sean Doyle, and probably a bunch of guys
that's a really tough group to pick from there.
Yeah.
Like I still would not be surprised if Yuri won it on Wilkes.
It's Perseus is Perseus Black.
Oh, it is him.
Yeah.
So he's
that's the name.
Okay. Yep. So that is he's in the Massenomics Alabama contingency. He lifts at
Diamond K.
Yeah, Diamond K powerlifting.
Very cool.
He's strong as fuck.
Yes. But what's so hard about this heavyweight one is you range from Yuri Belkin to JP Price of like size of people that are all competing for the same prize. Yuri being the reigning champ.
What is the payout? Is it for?
It's Wilkes, isn't it?
Wilkes.
That's where I think Yuri probably wins it. Probably. I mean, assuming he has a day that he can do. But also
Chris Bridgeford is cut down to that same weight class. Like he'll be pretty. Like on a Wilks score, I think he'll be pretty competitive. But I mean, it's tough to compete with Yuri Belkin.
Yeah.
But Chris can deadlift 900 pounds. He can squat.
And Larry Wheels can too. Like, what's Larry, he gonna pull out in?
Larry Wheels, I think, would probably be a favorite, another favorite.
There
choice.
though is
his
squat is what kills him.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
if
he benches,
so can any of the big guys pull it out? Then can a fucking 1,000-pound squat?
I don't know.
And a 800-pound
JP
deadlift?
Price, we're talking.
Yeah.
1,000-pound squat, 600-pound bench, and an 800 deadlift gives him a 24 total. But he weighs 380 pounds or 60 pounds or whatever he weighs.
Yeah, I don't think. Like Dennis Cornelius.
Yeah.
With wraps, he might be getting close to 1,000 pound, and he benches 6.
Yeah.
And
What's Brandon Allen weighing now?
And hasn't he been putting up some crazy numbers?
Brandon Allen's bench is back.
Yeah,
His
he's not far from 600 pounds.
He's always passable. Yeah. And
if he's
I don't know if he
close
can
to
squat
1,000.
9 or a grand yet.
Yeah.
I think he squatted 9 in his last meet though, 9 something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he squats a grand, pulls big, I mean, he's not 390 anymore. Like he's probably 320,
right,
or less.
Like he doesn't weigh as much as JP Price does as a super.
And Brandon's actually. I think he's back down again.
Yeah,
I think he had got up before the last meet and was back down. But
Larry, Larry's not extremely heavy. He's going to weigh 300 pounds or whatever he gets up to. Yeah. And he's going to deadlift 900 pounds.
And bench probably 700 or something.
I mean, he's going to bench way more than Yuri. He's going to bench over 100 pounds more than Yuri is. And he's probably going to squat about, I don't know.
Yeah, that's just, it's so hard to say.
Yeah. It's hard to bet against Yuri Belkin.
It is. Brandon Allen in training squatted 959 in wraps fucking last week.
Yeah.
So you would think 1,000.
But JP
benched 575. Fucking, God, I don't know.
Sean Doyle is also maybe a little less known than some of those guys, but he won that big dogs meet when he was going against
Milanichev,
Dan Bell, Eric Lillibridge, all those guys. I don't know which ones all competed in that year exactly, but yeah. So who's your pick?
On Wilkes,
do we need to go over who wears Massenomics stuff?
That's probably
let's look
important? Brandon
Allen has worn a Massenomics shirt.
Rob,
when he wears shirts. Rob.
It's like Rob wears a lot of Massenomics stuff.
He does.
I think it's probably fair to say Rob is not going to. I don't think he's in contention to win it all because he gives up on his deadlift a little bit and maybe his bench a little bit.
I don't know where he's at on those two.
Yeah.
Wilkes gets confusing for me. I know Rob.
Squat, obviously,
he's
going to kill
squat.
it.
I don't think his bench is terrible.
No, it's probably over 5, I'm sure. 5 to 550, somewhere in there.
He's dropping weight.
Yeah. Yeah, he also does a pretty aggressive cut.
He's shooting for 308.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
And he does wear a lot of Massenomics.
But that is always the wild card right there.
Stuff.
Anyone else wear Massenomics stuff in this? He wears the most.
He wears enough for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, Rob has done what it takes to get our vote.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm going to say Larry Wheels, just because he's kind of the flavor of the.
I'd like to see him put together a meet.
I would. I actually would, especially after last year with the U.S. Open getting hurt.
Kevin Oak, I guess I don't know if we talked about him very much, but that
he
would be
had the world record squat.
Yeah.
It wasn't a little bit, but I still think he gives up too much in. Is it deadlift he struggles with?
Because he'll be in the same weight class as Yuri and Chris Bridgeford. Those. Yeah.
I think Yuri. I think Yuri has his day. I mean, I don't think anyone can beat him right now.
I
But
think you're
he
right.
also has been known to miss lifts, and that could totally leave it wide open for a lot of people at that point.
It would be a really fun meet to be at.
Yeah, we got asked.
We did.
Who was it? Nick who asked? Somebody asked. You guys going to be there?
Yeah. Gracie V, the event promoter, she was. She wanted us to be there to do
hey, can you guys come through with those straight fire memes all weekend?
No, I'm pretty sure that's exactly how she would have said it.
She was pretty adamant about wanting us to do our interview thing that we do at the Arnold, which would be awesome. But
you just tell her like we can't afford it.
Yeah, it's just an issue of.
Is there any way?
Said okay, offer
Pay
both
for our
classes a
flights.
$39,000 check instead of a $40,000 check.
All we need.
You got
Listen,
us.
if you're putting together a meet and you want some bomb ass media coverage, look at our videos for the Arnold.
Yeah.
All you do is fly us there.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Just the flight
fly
cost.
us
We
there.
nothing else. Just the flight cost.
Just fly us out of here.
We have
out
to pay
of
to
our-
live anyways, so we can
So
just
it's
pay to
fine.
live there.
Yeah,
for a few
few
know.
days. Yeah, we could
like,
definitely do that. But
It's just the
someone's-
flight though. Of
Yeah, and we'll put your logo on everything. It'll look real good. Good publicity. You can post it on your YouTube as well as ours. Like it'll all play out really well for you.
Yeah.
this would have been would be
It
a,
would have
would
been.
have been a really
we would have had a blast.
yeah. This especially with this roster of people.
And
I mean,
also, that's a bunch of guys that are pretty fun.
yes.
Like you could fuck around with these guys a
Yeah,
little bit.
and we got a good rapport with a lot of them already
Yeah,
too. So
yeah.
that's
So I don't know. Maybe it's not off the table for next year.
Yeah.
Someone. What would be ideal actually would be for maybe one of the sponsors of the meet to be like, all right, we'll fly you guys out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we could
You just mentioned.
yeah we could
sponsored
throw
by-
Iron,
Hey,
Iron
there
Rebel
could
on
be a
everything we
sponsor
do.
out there right now. They could reap the rewards of our magic that we could.
Yeah, so that's always out there if you want some fucking fly Massenomics coverage in perpetuity.
It is some of the best of as far as
It's
what
the best I ever see.
as
in
far as what
powerlifting.
Rave
Nobody else
reviews
is
from
interviewing
Donnie
anybody.
Thompson have
Yeah.
said, you guys just get
the
it.
likes of Donnie Thompson.
I have a question. If we had to get a job in this field that was like just the sport of powerlifting or something, let's just pretend you're trying to apply for a job at like a magazine that covers the sport or something. Do you think we could get like job references from some of these people? Be like, listen, Donnie.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
Can I put you down as a reference?
yeah,
put you down as a reference.
probably.
I'm trying to get a job at Hardee's
Yeah,
or Carl's Jr., wherever it is you're from.
I think so. Wouldn't have to tell them that we're putting.
That's
in
true. Yeah, they'll just call him.
Yeah, Bill Kazmaier, can we use you as Ed
That
Cohn?
would be Bill Kazmaier would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, this is
I don't know if he'd help anyone's chances
this
of
is
getting a
Steve,
job.
assistant
Well,
manager.
he talked a lot when we asked him questions. So.
Assistant day manager at the Pop Copy down the street. What do you know about Tyler Stone? Oh, I just love what he's doing with the podcast. Like,
Talking about getting strong, being strong, staying strong. I saw him and I thought, that's going to be the man to walk through the valley. Have you ever seen the movie Everest?
oh, Bill is the best.
Have you seen the movie Everest?
No.
I have.
But we, of course, nod yes.
Yes.
that
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
seen.
yeah. Yes,
of course,
I have.
Of course, Everest. We just
And then
watched
his-
it on the flight here.
I don't
The next
know.
question is, what was your favorite part?
Where
they climbed the mountain
top.
I was like, is that... I think my favorite part was when the plane crashed and they had to eat each other. Was that Everest? Is that the wrong one? But
of course, we're like, yeah,
I was like, yeah, I've seen Everest. I'm not fucking stupid, Bill. Duh, everyone's seen that movie. I think if he would have said anything, like, yes, yeah. Just because you can't. What do you say when you're interviewing somebody and they're like, "Hey, have you seen Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2?" And we're like, "Yeah, obviously." So let's go
Love
on
it.
now.
I love it.
Because the last thing you want to say is no.
No, and then
please
everyone's
tell
like,
me
oh,
about it.
yeah.
And then they'll explain this movie to you.
yes.
That's how good we are at interviewing. We know when to duck and when to dive and when to dodge and when to dip. But well, I think that's. Do we have anything else we got to hustle out today?
I don't think so.
Anything else, Tommy?
Nah.
Nah. I mean, other than these super fly
Well,
flex flasks.
there's some there. We've got some news out there for people. If you want one of these in white, you're actually not going to get yourself one of these exact ones in white any longer because we're
really?
out of stock of these. And it sounds like, is this right? The manufacturer is no longer
The
producing
manufacturer
them.
has discontinued white.
The white.
We sold so many.
We put them out of business.
So the white
That's
lift
such
one,
a bargain
yeah,
that you'll never be able to get it again.
the white lift one is completely gone, so you cannot get this one. If you want a white
If you
one
want
of
that one, send
I've
an email
used,
to getbig
yeah.
at massenomics.com. We can
I'd
make
sell
a
this at a
weird
premium.
deal.
Yeah. There is some white ones of the OG logo and of the Huge Life still available. But if you want one, order it now because once they're gone, they are gone forever.
What a tragedy that would be.
It
It is kind of a stinker because the white one has turned out to be a
It's
a
really
pretty
cool.
popular
Really popular
option.
one.
Yeah.
and a little bit different than maybe the
Were they
normal
gonna-
thing that you see.
So you think they're going to come out with anything else? Or is it just going to be black?
Well, there is another color available.
What other color are we talking here? And we're not saying we're going to sell it.
Stainless is the other option.
That's interesting. What can we do?
It would be
with
black.
Would we have to
on-
burn
It would be a black.
That'd
It would
be
be
kinda
burnt black.
neat. Maybe we could try
It
one.
would be kind of cool, yeah.
We might have to do some trials.
So maybe
See
be
how
on the
much
lookout
we
for
like
that.
Yeah.
But if you want a white one, can't get it in the lift, but you could get the other styles in white.
And the Huge Life one would be goes. That's the one I've got.
Yep.
I've got all of them, but that one is really sweet in the white. Really pops. So get yourself one at Massenomics.com. Go to the store. While you're there, check out all our articles, videos. Sign up for our email newsletter. You get coupons. You get notified when we get our shorts figured out. That we teased a couple weeks ago that aren't quite available yet.
You're not going to be buying those.
That we're just
if you're
going to
wondering.
keep teasing.
Yeah, we got to iron out.
Some people
kinks.
have asked about that, so yeah,
We got some kinks to iron out.
Yeah.
those will not be for sale just yet.
Yeah, but because we only deal in premium products, guys.
That's right. We didn't
right.
want to send you guys something that you wouldn't be satisfied with at the end of
And
the
we
day.
have
so
a pretty rigorous testing standard here.
Yes.
So
Involves us washing them, wearing them,
Farting
not
in
washing
them.
them, making sure they hold up. But anyway, let's see. Store, newsletter. If you want to send us money or inquire about flying us to places to do interviews, get big at Massenomics.com. That's also where we field any sponsorship offers. I'll go through that email. YouTube.com/Massenomics. Facebook, Instagram. Oh my God, is that the new one?
well, that's one of.
All right, so
Want to go through some names of the
what's the hashtag that people can search for our verses? It's
Massenomics VS.
So Massenomics versus Massenomics VS.
So
you need to just search that on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we are there is all sorts
the
of new,
pipeline is full, you could say.
Stay tuned for Evan Rutledge,
Oh, I like that.
Dennis Cornelius, Robert Oberst, friend of the podcast Brandon
I
Allen,
like that a lot.
Dwayne Johnson, Mark Bell,
I like it. Kai
Kai
Green.
Green.
That one is going to be really good.
Yeah.
I might have some ideas for that one too.
Rob Hall. He lifted the guy that
like
he
that.
lifted
Yep.
in the cage against
Yep.
Forsaken Warrior this year. And then Heather Connor, USAPL. She
yeah,
wrote
yeah, that one's really
all-time
good.
Wilkes. And then
Women probably are slightly underrepresented in the Versus series.
oh, and there is this is very in the starting stages now, but Chris Duffin would be taking on someone here, but that's just in just in the works.
So keep your eye. But no, if you wanna see some pretty entertaining shit, go to Instagram. Just hashtag MassenomicsVS and enjoy. Share them.
Tell us if you think don't say if you don't get it, just
Say you
close
don't
out.
get it and let the world know you're an idiot.
Yeah, if you don't get it,
You know
then
the old
it's-
saying, if you don't understand, just say something so everyone knows how stupid you are?
yeah, if you don't get it, it is in your best interest and just leave it alone because some of the shit that comes out.
it's
like,
just shocking. Like
they're
I'm starting.
They're like, listen,
like, damn.
I can't believe that you would compare Louis Simmons to Richard Simmons
it's like-
because
the thing is,
Richard,
like,
Simmons
fair
doesn't,
point.
Richard Simmons doesn't even bench. What are you talking about?
It's like, these are real people and they have jobs. Some of them probably even have kids. Like, man.
I really like Louis Simmons versus Richard Simmons.
Yeah,
though. That was your
great,
idea,
yeah.
and like when it played out, it was like really interesting too, because it's like 70 years old,
Yes.
69 years old.
Yeah.
You know, there's like
It kind of
actually like
was pretty,
like
they
there's a
might-
comparison there,
Yeah, they did in the same era.
Yeah.
do very different things for
and
fitness.
influenced a lot of people.
Yeah.
Both of them. You know, like I think that's kind of actually a funny
Fun fact:
funny and
I've
interesting.
only ever seen Richard Simmons in person.
I've never seen Louis Simmons or Richard Simmons. I guess.
Saw Richard Simmons at a casino mall in Vegas 8 years ago.
Well, I was gonna say he's
And
actually
he-
a recluse
and
now.
he looked pretty rough.
Yeah, I have to do a little research on everyone that goes into Massenomics versus. So, like, Richard Simmons doesn't like leave his house
Like,
anymore.
people were like thinking that he might have like done like a Tupac disappearing act. They were like, "Where is he? What's happening?" They're like, no, he just doesn't leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Massenomics VS has taken the world by storm, but that's kind of the downfall of it getting more traction is we're getting more of these comments that are like, Oh my gosh!
This is the problem with getting a bigger audience.
Yeah.
Is some of your audience is fucking dumb.
Most time it's
Most
not,
of you guys listening now are the best.
Yes. The
But-
people that listen to the podcast day in,
They
day out,
get
you
it,
get
yeah.
everything that we're doing in the
Because you're not here an hour and 3 minutes
Yeah.
in, not getting it.
Yeah.
Because you moved on.
Most of the time, it doesn't warrant a comment, but every once in a while, it's like,
You're like,
Can
all
just
right,
say something
I gotta,
because-
I got to unpack this for this.
yeah,
fucking moron.
yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. So follow us on Instagram. I'm Tyler. You can find me at Tyler F and Stone. Tommy
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
and Tanner.
The Massenomics Instagram page at Massenomics.
We really nailed that one.
We
All
did
right.
it.
Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you next week, and stay strong.
See ya.
You just heard the Massenomics podcast. With your ears, you're welcome. Check us out on Facebook, find us on Instagram at Massenomics, and make sure you visit Massenomics.com and buy some of that sweet Massenomics gear. From your friends at Massenomics Studio, home of the world's strongest podcast, stay strong.